A private company can train New Jersey police officers with taxpayer money without any state approval of the instructors. Lawmakers now want to change that after our investigative team reported on a controversial police training program. Investigator Tim McNicholas has been digging into this story for more than a year now and has a new update.
There's something called letter of the law and spirit of the law.
The 75 Lakewood police officers in this lecture hall are glued to Alan Bloodgood's every word.
I can also detain an occupant in the car.
The retired police captain explains how and when to arrest or interview suspects. Detailed guidance on what cops can or cannot do under the law. Yet this taxpayer-funded training session required zero approval from the state of New Jersey or its top law enforcement officer, Attorney General Matt Platkin.
Right now, anybody can get a LLC, and start training, law enforcement officers. There's nothing preventing anybody from doing that right now.
If some state lawmakers get their way, private police training companies would be required to get approval from the state's Police Training Commission every year. The legislation would ban police from attending training not approved by the commission, which is an arm of Platkin's office.
The proper charge is actually going to be $39,374.
That means more regulation for Bloodgood, but he welcomes the idea.
Honestly, I think it gives me more credibility. It does, because I'm proud of what I do. I'm confident what I do. I don't teach anything that is controversial. I don't teach anything that could be even remotely illegal.
Lawmakers drafted the bill in response to an audit of a training company called Street Cop and their 2021 conference attended by more than 200 New Jersey police officers.
And I the out of the female driver. She doesn't want back though.
The New Jersey State Comptroller's Office said speakers at the Atlantic City conference were lewd, disparaging, glorifying violence, and taught unconstitutional police tactics.
I don't want heroes exit. I want to die like 91 with hookers and cocaine around me.
Street Cop founder Dennis Bonino apologized for the language used and denied Street Cop ever taught unconstitutional policing. A separate CBS News New York investigation then found Bonino was disciplined 3 times back when he was a police officer in Woodbridge, including a 10-day suspension for allegedly using a racial slur, which he denied during an internal affairs interview.
If my bill had been law then, some of the instructors that had had previous problems in the past that were easily identifiable probably would not have been approved to even be a police trainer.
Bonino responded to our first interview request for this story with a 460-word email stating the bill is based on a completely biased report that pointed out a few minutes of jokes in a room full of adults, none of which who complained. He went on to write, tens of thousands of police officers have regarded our training to be the best that has ever existed, and suggested the controller's investigation was politically motivated. But New Jersey State Association of Chiefs of Police President John Russo says the audit does show a need for oversight, although he'd like to see exemptions in the current bill.
We would basically just like to see a carve-out for certain nonprofits, like the New Jersey State Association of Chiefs of Police. We've been providing training throughout the state, like I said, for decades.
Most of the states that I teach in, there is already a system in place. So they would either approve the instructor or they would approve the lesson.
If we don't have that, what kind of situations could arise?
You can have everything from unconstitutional policing, bad searches, bad use of force incidents.
Bloodgood also worked at the Woodbridge Police Department at the same time as Bonino, but he offered no comment on Bonino or Street Cop. We responded to Bonino's email, again asking for an interview, and he suggested we talk live on his podcast because he feels that would be the most neutral arena. Our investigative unit has never conducted interviews live on someone else's podcast. And Christine, we are not going to make an exception for this story.
Okay, Tim, very well said. Back to the bill. Where does it stand?
So a public safety committee advanced that bill, but it has not yet come to a full vote before either chamber.
Okay, keep us posted, Tim.
Will do.
Thank you. If you have a story idea for Tim or our investigative team, scan the QR code there on your screen. You may see your story on our air.